It's day 2 at the Australian Open and a great day for the older generation on the tour. Ben will be pleased. They're repping the oldies. It is, of course, Novak Djokovic, sublime. Another record, another milestone. Stan Wawrinka, Marin Cilic, they're all looking good. On the women's, mixed. Iga, she's through, and Alex Eala is out.
That's it. Day 2 in the books of the Australian Open, and my man Novak Djokovic one step closer to number 25. And like you said in the intro, the old guys, they're proving it doesn't matter. Age is just a number. And Djokovic, we expect to win these early round matches, but the people like Cilic and like Stan Wawrinka, this is just more of just like a bit more surprise in some of their results, especially Stan. Obviously, it's his last one. There's a bit of passion. The crowd want him to win. He's a former champion. But he was up against Laslo Djere, who's a really good player, but he beat him in 4 sets. I was super impressed with Stan, and I'm sure you'll take us through Cilic, because I think that was your bracket. You had Altmaier, I think, going through. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't have gone any worse, bracket-wise, with Marin Cilic. He performed at a ridiculous level. I see a few joke tweets circulating around saying, that's it, it's confirmed, Marin Cilic is going to be winning this year's Australian Open. There's a long way to go. But the first 2 sets, bagels in both. I mean, he's entered the chat at the Australian Open. Watch out, Marin Cilic is performing. Remember, he is the former finalist here, and he did win the US Open. So this is a guy who knows how to win the big events. There's not going to be many years left of Marin Cilic. There's definitely not many years left of Stan. He's already announced his retirement at the end of the year. Novak Djokovic, on the other hand, we're not so sure. He's still saying he wants to play the Olympics. He still feels he can compete with the big 2 players in the world. It's difficult to really gauge too much off his opponent because... remind me the name, the Spanish guy.
Martinez.
Pedro Martinez is no world beater. We've had the privilege of watching him in person quite a few times, actually, and being in the locker room with him behind the scenes. Seems like a nice enough guy, but as a tennis player on a hard court, I just don't see him ever being able to beat top players. So this was always going to be a straightforward victory for Novak Djokovic, but he still went out there and did it. And 10-time champion Djokovic wins his 100th career match, and he's now 110 in the tournament.
Brilliant, isn't it?
I love how the numbers are lining up there. A lot of hundreds and tens.
It's brilliant. It's like binary, 1s and 0s for Novak Djokovic. And what's divisible by 100? 25. So can he get number 25? That is obviously a quarter of it. I thought he played really well, though. This is like one of the matches I did get to see some of. Obviously, it's all overnight, and this one's the last match of the day. I thought it was just against a clay courter. You can't really say it's a really good hard court player. He did enough. He had some great moments. He had some good scurries to the net, some good volleys, some crafty angles. But ultimately, if it was a long rally, Djokovic was going to win it. And he just looked good. There's nothing you can take away from it. Tick, round 1 done. That's it. And he faces Mastrelli in round 2. And if he doesn't win that one, then I'll be very surprised as well. There's not much more to say other than just let's celebrate 100 wins at the Australian Open. That's massive. He's notching up those centuries, isn't he? I think he got one. Didn't he get it at Roland Garros and at Wimbledon as well?
Yeah. I remember recently. One of the slams. I saw it actually a second ago. There was a graphic of 100. The numbers are crazy with Novak. He's racking them all up. I still don't think that we can judge anything really on his credentials of winning this tournament until the second week. Let's wait and see until he starts playing some better opposition. He'll be pleased in the next round. It is Mastrelli. We thought it was going to be Atman, I believe. Yeah. And he went out and lost to Mastrelli. So on paper, it's not bad. And this is what happened to Rafael Nadal that year. He did very well at the Australian Open when people weren't expecting him. Every time we thought he was going to be playing someone, he didn't end up playing them because they went out. So could that be a blessing in disguise for Djokovic? Is that a similar path to his best friend Rafael Nadal? We'll have to wait and see. But But yeah, certainly a good place to start with a big three of the old guard, Wawrinka, Cilic, and Novak Djokovic, the old big three doing the business on day 2.
Yeah, Stan, he's now the second oldest man to win a match at the Australian Open, which now puts him in line to face somebody who was a bit of a shock winner. And we've got another upset on day 2, Jiří Lehečka. I didn't have that on my bingo card, as I don't think you did either. It's a Grand Slam debutant in Arthur Gaya, and what a performance it was from him. I never saw this one coming at all. I thought it was going to be straight sets Lehečka. It was straight sets Arthur Gaya. It's insane. What a performance.
Yeah, maybe the biggest shock of day 2. I think we had some big ones on day 1. Maybe you could argue maybe another one, but I think this Arthur Gaya one is the one that surprised me the most. He's on a 9-match winning streak, 5 to win his first challenger in Noumea, 3 to qualify for the Slam Major, and then obviously this one. Next, he's got Stan Wawrinka. He's performing extremely well with this run of form, and we've seen players sort of take this challenger form into these big events. Of course, Aslan Karatsev all them years ago, he was a challenger king, come through qualifying, and then went on a tear. What did he go? All the way to semi-finals.
Semis,
played very well against Djokovic as well. So I'm not saying Arthur Gaya is following the Aslan Karatsev route, but he must be very pleased with how he started here. And I do know a little bit about this guy from the past, and I think he is one who can do some big things. I just want to remind myself of his age, because I'm pretty sure
he's quite young. For sure,
he's quite young. Yeah, 21 years old.
One for the future, for sure. And we seem to have some good players who seem to come out of France in the last few years, and maybe he's one to watch. Obviously, Arthur Cazot, another good young player from France. But who's he going to be playing? You said Stan Wawrinka. No one's going to want to see Stan's run at this tournament end, and the fans will all be on Stan's side. Obviously, being a former champion, you get so much more of the crowd support. Being an old, he's a 3-time Slam champion, Stan, as well. It doesn't really happen in that era of the big 3. Only Murray and him were the ones who were really able to get more than one Slam. Obviously, there were the odd other ones who nicked one here and there, but someone like Stan is respected across the whole tennis world, if not the best backhand, one of the best in the sport. And I'm going to be cheering him on. I love new talent, but this is the final hurrah for Stan Wawrinka this year, and I would love to see him make a second week. Could you imagine if he could do that?
Well, he'll be pleased, and Arthur Gaya will be pleased about how it's played out for them, because on paper, Lehečka would have been the favourite, and most people's brackets, he would have walked these first few matches. So now there's an opportunity, I feel, for Stan and Arthur Gaya to win another match, which I didn't think was there before if it was going to be Lehečka. But Gaya's already beaten him, so I think he's got a really good chance, and I'm maybe tipping him to beat Stan as well. He's 166 in the live rankings. He's climbed about 30 places just with that one win. So it just goes to show how many points at stake at these Grand Slams and how important they are. And a nice segue really into the guy we left outside the top 10. We wasn't sure on his consistency this year, and he's out. He retired in the match against Nuno Borges. That is, of course, Felix Auger-Aliassime. He lost the match. He was 2-1 down and then retired. And we did say that this could happen with him.
Yeah, very disappointing. And I don't even really want to take... there's no gloating or anything from us. I think really, when it comes to this, it's one of those ones where I still would want him to do well, because I still think he's one of the best players on tour on his day. But
we wasn't banking on an injury, but we thought even if he is to play, he's not going to be able to do it. But with this news, of course, doesn't look great for him at the start. But there's still so many matches to be played, and he plays better at the back end anyway.
Yeah, like Ben Rothenberg put here, he said in the press, he said that he was cramping from the start of the third set, and that's what forced the retirement. Said he couldn't remember cramping this early in a match or this early in a tournament. He's deeply frustrated. But it's the first round. it's not even made it 4 sets. Like, how are you going to play a whole tournament? Like, if you can't go without cramping for 4 sets. So, yeah, I mean, he's really going to have to work out what went wrong there. Is it something to do with diet, something to do with training? But they're going to have to go to the drawing board, because you can't have that going into a Grand Slam. Like, if he has that at the French Open again, he's going to find himself nowhere near the top 10. He needs big results at the Slams. I still believe come back end of the year, that's where he shines. So will it mean too much? If he does a good US Open and a good back end, he might still find himself in that top 20 fighting for a place again. But he could really be right up there fighting for number 3 or something if he had a good start to the year. Yeah, unfortunately, terrible start. And Shapo's outdone him in this tournament by the looks of it. So Shapo's gone through, and Felix has to take a back step, because Shapo went through in straight sets as well against Bu. Well done to Shapovalov. Should we move over to the women's? Because I'm not sure where you want to start. I want to start actually with one that I was able to watch this morning, because it was actually like a live one, and it was Vekic versus Andreeva. I think Andreeva is the hot topic at the moment. She is, and Donna Vekic, she's been playing really well. So this was always going to be a tough match after just winning a tournament. Would you get the curse? You go out first round after winning the tournament, and it looked like it might happen after she was up a break in the first set, got broken back, then lost the first set. I was like, oh no, don't let it happen to Mira. But it didn't. She showed resilience. Winning that second set was key. And then look at it. When she finally came through and played her top level, she absolutely battered her in that third and final set. A bagel against Vekic. Impressed I am by this.
Yeah, and I liked after the match how she thanked herself again. Obviously, she's famous for doing that. And the quote of today was, I think today, once again, I did everything. I don't know what my team is doing, sitting in the corner doing nothing. Honestly, I'm very happy with how I came back in this match, how I didn't lose my focus, how I still tried to go for my shots. Okay, maybe Conchita gave me advice once or twice here or there, but overall, just all me again.
Yeah,
she's an ongoing joke character. Now. I like it. It is funny. She is a character. Donna Vekic is a good player. And after that first set, I was actually fearing the worst as well. I thought this could be a big upset. I was thinking she was going out. But turned it around and really good in that third with a bagel.
And I think that is the key factor here. To go from what could be jubilation of winning a title, that sometimes gives players like a moment they sometimes relax, and that's why they lose, I think, because they're already on a high. How do you get back in that focused mindset for the first round again? I think that she maybe did have the lapse in that first set, and she was able to have the forethought of mind to just hang in there. And you see what she's doing to players. We're seeing breadsticks and bagels from Mira Andreeva at the moment when she's playing her best tennis against top opposition. Not just anyone. She breadstick Mboko in the final of that one and that last tournament. And now she's just gone and bageled Vekic in the final set here. I think this is somebody, I don't want to speak too soon, who this year could be the year of Mira Andreeva if she really does well to hang on to this early form. You know, last year she had back-to-back Masters.
Yeah.
If she keeps that form going, we could see something really special from her this year.
She could win a slam, definitely. Got the ability.
Definitely
and Iga's good, but she's not the same Iga as before. And Sabalenka will always be Sabalenka. And you can beat her. So it's shaping up in an interesting way on the WTA tour. And Mira Andreeva, I think, is at the level now to be competing for Grand Slams. It's just for her, she had a bit of a wobbly back end of the year, and I wasn't sure what level she was going to be at. Of course, we both had her still way inside our top 10s because I think class is always permanent, and she's going to get better. She's still so young. It wouldn't surprise me if she is going to go really far here at the Australian Open. I think that's a good outside bet for sure. Someone who was a good outside bet before the tournament, someone who was a wild card for all of us, who brought a whole nation with her to the tournament, who unfortunately did go out, was Alex Eala. You've got the tweet here saying the line to watch Eala at the Australian Open on court 6 was crazy. I saw another tweet from Ben Rothenberg saying, I wonder if Alex Eala is already the most popular player in women's tennis right now. There was thousands of Filipino fans who couldn't get onto court 6 and are watching her on screens around the Australian Open.
Incredible.
I think it's every country. The Filipinos are so patriotic and they get behind any of their icons. Of course, a sports star being such a big thing. They've had Manny Pacquiao in the past. But Alex Eala, there is a really exciting tennis player in there. Unfortunately for her, it wasn't her day. I feel this is just against the script because, yeah, she bageled Parks in the opening set. And then from there, I think run out of steam a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the poison chalice, isn't it? The bagel in the first set. Yeah. If you get it, I feel that it's a false sense of security. The fans probably got all excited. She probably got overexcited. And Alicia Parks is actually really like a solid serving tennis player. Like she's got one of the big serves, I think, when it's really actually going well for her in the women's game. And I think Alex Eala just got a bit tight out there today. I think there's a lot of expectation on her shoulders. Yeah. There's all those fans, everything. So much pressure. And you sent me over this one of her Grand Slam debutant results, which obviously last year we had the French Open. She lost in the first round to Arango. Lost against the reigning champion at Wimbledon. We didn't think that was too bad because obviously it was the reigning champion, Krejcikova, in 3 sets. Beat Clara Towson at the US Open, then lost to Buxa, and now out in 3 sets in the first round of the Australian Open at her first attempt. I still think she's an ever-evolving player. She's so young, and this is why I didn't put her in my top 10 this year, is because I still think there's a lot to be learned on the tour for Alex Eala. She has something. We can all agree on that. There is something in there, but it's not consistent enough. She needs to be able to handle certain occasions a bit better. And once we start seeing that on a more consistent basis, she could be in and around that top 10.
Yeah. And for the fans of Alex Eala, we've got here more years to come, Alex. Tuloy yang ang laban at suporta.
Well said. I agree. Totally. That's it. But well done to Parks. She is through to the next round. And yeah, Alex Eala will have to wait until the French Open to see her at a slam again. But there are a lot of other tournaments coming up. Obviously, she did so well in some of the Masters events last year. So I'll be looking forward to seeing her playing in some big tournaments before the French Open. Iga Swiatek.
Let me know, guys, how my pronunciation was. I'm interested.
Yeah, exactly. And we had Iga Swiatek starting her tournament. Close first set, but she got over the line. And yeah, it was a 7-6 in the first and a 6-3 in the second. Yuan, don't look at the name and think, oh, that should be an easy win. She's actually a very good player. She's actually a good player. So don't just base it upon looking at a name. Base it upon somebody who we know has had some big results in the past. So good result, sticky opposition in the first round. But yeah, Iga has played 24 slams this decade and won her first round in straight sets in all of the 24 matches. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, 2019 was the last time that she lost a set in the opening round of a major. You'd have to say this is probably one of the closest ones. Considering it went all the way to a tiebreak and then she won it by 5. Yeah. It's not usually, that's not the Iga way. Usually Iga comes out the traps a bit faster in a Grand Slam and we see a bagel or a breadstick or a 2 at least. But it was a tight one and it doesn't fill me with much confidence moving on for Iga. I've got a lot more confidence around, say, a Mirra Andreeva right now than an Iga.
Yeah, for sure. I think Mirra Andreeva, I think Sabalenka as well. She's definitely a very, very confident player on these Australian Open courts as well. It's not been Iga's stomping ground. We know that for a fact. Doesn't mean it can't come true. She's chasing the career Grand Slam at the moment, bear in mind. This is the only one she doesn't have now. So this is like her and Alcaraz are there for one reason and one reason only. By hook or by crook, can we get this one remaining trophy? Wouldn't it be poetic if they were both to win it this year?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so let's have a look at some of the other results that went on. Obviously, it's been difficult probably for us to watch much of the tennis. I saw a bit of Coco Gauff, was impressed by her. I noticed that she said in a post-match interview, she said that it's difficult when you're walking around the tournament. You bump into people, they've just played a first round match and you congratulate them on their first round match. And she did it to someone who said that person actually lost the first round match.
I didn't see
said
this.
That they took that in good spirits, though. It was somebody who she knows very well and they didn't take offence to it. So she said, yeah, you got to be so careful. You don't know, you normally can gauge from someone's demeanour if they've won or lost, though. And this person obviously was giving off too much of a positive energy for someone who had lost, and she congratulated her. So never mind. Anyways, well done to Gauff.
Yeah, it's not easy to keep on track of all of it at this opening few days of a Grand Slam. There was simply so many matches. I thought Diana Snyder beating Krejcikova deserves a mention. That was a good result.
Yes.
We both called it, right?
No, I went for the upset. I went for Krejcikova.
Oh, you went for Krejcikova.
To sneak through, but unfortunately, she did not got the first set. She's either on or she's not. Krejcikova, she's not right now by the looks of it. So
Kenin's out, which is really good. Really good for my bracket.
Yeah, I had Kenin going through on mine, but yeah, fair play. It was Peyton Stearns. Actually, I thought Peyton Stearns had come a cropper to some bad results at the start of this year. That's why I went for Kenin.
She loves a slam, Stearns.
Yeah. There we got Jovic. She went through. One good for you here, Noskova, Baguin, Semen Sturger. And the other one, I know you're looking out for Wallace. You said
Vacheron was good. Come on.
Well, yeah. In the men's. Yeah, I was going to say, you were looking out to see if Anisimova was going to lose her first round match. So
no, I realised early doors on that Wallace wasn't doing it.
Okay, Anne Lee won, just in case you're wondering. That's another one you were mentioning. But Vacheron in straight sets. Keep an eye on the man from Monaco. Can he go deep?
My wild card, the one to watch.
And Casper Ruud going through. But we expected him to win the first round. I'm interested to see, I think, isn't he playing Munab soon? Or I'm not sure who he's playing in the next round, but I think I had him going out second round or third round, Casper Ruud.
Yeah, you had him going out early doors.
Yeah, but let's see. He seems to have started well, but Bellucci, I don't think is the real. I don't think that's the real test, really.
You can't judge these matches so much. It'd be like the Coco Gauff one, similar with the Ruud. Kind of expected. I mean, some of the others you're not so sure about. Like the Cilic one was crazy. Van der Zandschulp wasn't expecting that so much. No. Disappointed with Fernley. I bigged him up so much and he ended up losing. And Tien, that was a really good match. They're both from the same place, aren't they, in America?
Yep, exactly.
Is it Southern California? I think.
I believe so.
And they are, I don't know if they're good friends, but it was a really good match. Giron had him beat, to be fair. And then Tien just stormed himself back into it. He forced the issue. Classic. He just showed like a lot of maturity to do it, because these two players, I honestly think if they're in different parts of the draw, they're at least good value for me for a third or fourth round.
Yeah, Giron's been playing great. So this was a terrible draw for him. And
not a good one.
This is the Tien. This is what he does. He drags you into these long 5-set matches. I'm a bit annoyed he's done it in the first round, but we saw him do it last year against Medvedev. He's on a collision course with Medvedev. He played well today.
Yeah, but he's going to be watching that, Daniel, and he's going to be disappointed that Tien got through, because he's the one player he does not want to play, and that could be a fourth round match. And I don't know, you can't call it. It's going to be super, super tight. Tien will fancy his chances for sure. And one last thing to say, I know we've been darting around a little bit, is I want to go back to Novak Djokovic, because I found the quote which I was looking for earlier, and I didn't see it when we were speaking about it earlier, but I want to speak about it. And that is Djokovic speaking about Alcaraz's serve. Have you seen it?
No, go for it. If you can send it, I'll pop it up.
Yeah, I think I did send it to you, but there's a lot of talk about the new reformed Carlos Alcaraz serve. And I saw a video, I think it was at the start of the Australian, before it started, when I think he was on Rod Laver doing a practice set, Alcaraz. Side by side, the serve motion is identical, him and Djokovic now. And Djokovic said, as soon as I saw it, I sent him a message. I said, we have to speak about the copyrights. Then when I saw him here, I told him we have to talk about percentage of his winnings. Every ace I expect to tribute to me. Every ace that he makes here, let's see if he's going to stick to the agreement.
I like it. Well, if there's anybody to copy the serve of, it would be Novak Djokovic, especially at the Australian Open. This is the one thing that's got him 10 Australian Open championships. Who else would you copy? I think this is brilliant. What a great idea from Carlos Alcaraz. And is this a new coaching method? Is this his dad? Because his dad said, look, just copy him over there. Or is it maybe one of the other guys who didn't get a word in? Ferrero is always, my way or the highway. Now look, he's got a new serve.
Well, you've got to be honest. This new serve, if he is to change something and Alcaraz is able to get a Novak Djokovic style serve with the same technique and same efficiency, then Jannik Sinner could have his work cut out. But I feel like there's such fine margins. They're both exceptional tennis players. And I don't know, if Alcaraz is able to really perfect this and improve it, which Djokovic did so much towards the back end of his career, not the early stages, towards the back end his serve was formidable. Gary always says if Djokovic serves well, he wins. So the serve is so important in modern day tennis. And let's see what happens with Carlos Alcaraz and if he can master it further. I'm sure he will. And he's certainly got chances to win this event this year.
That's right. And we have, obviously, Jannik Sinner on day 3. He will be the person, I think, wrapping up all of the tennis. Oh, no, actually, Tsitsipas is last on, but Jannik Sinner will be second to last on. Those are the big matches coming up on day 3. On the women's side, we have Naomi Osaka. She's starting her run as well. And we've got a few Brits in action with Kartal on Balta. So we'll have to keep our eyes out. Can they join Raducanu in round 2?
There you go. We'll see you tomorrow for more tennis action. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you soon.